The nature, obligatory character, and Islamic wisdom of the sacrifice. 1. A sacrifice is a specific animal slaughtered with the intention of worship to draw closer to the mercy of Almighty Allah. During the days of Eid al-Adha, the first 3 days, the sacrifice, UDHIYYAH, performed in this manner for the pleasure of Allah is called UDHIYYAH, and the act of sacrificing it is called TAZHIYAH. 2. Sacrificing an animal with the intention of worship during Eid al-Adha, obligatory for a free resident, not a traveler, Muslim, and wealthy person. By wealthy, we mean those who, in addition to their basic necessities, possess property worth at least 200 dirhams of silver, whether or not it is surplus, and who are obligated to pay fitra. See the Zakat section. If a person has the means to sacrifice an animal during the days of sacrifice, the first 3 days of Eid al-Adha, but fails to do so and later falls into poverty, this does not relieve them of the obligation mentioned here. 3. According to Imam al-Azam and Imam Abu Yusuf, sound mind and puberty are not prerequisites for the obligation to perform the sacrifice. Therefore, the guardian of a wealthy child or a mentally ill person sacrifices an animal using their property. This child or this insane person may eat the meat of that sacrifice. Remaining portion is exchanged for something of equivalent value, such as clothing, from which they will benefit. However, according to Imam Muhammad, sanity and puberty are requirements for the obligation of sacrifice. Therefore, it is not necessary to sacrifice from the property of children or the insane. The fatwa is based on this. If their guardians were to sacrifice an animal from their property on their behalf, they must reimburse them for the cost of the sacrifice. However, it has recommended for a person to sacrifice an animal from their own property on behalf of their child. According to Imam Malik and Imam Shafi'I, the sacrifice is not obligatory but is a strong SUNNAH. 4. The obligatory act of sacrifice is a symbol of self-sacrifice in the path of righteousness and an expression of gratitude for the blessings bestowed by Almighty Allah. The result of all this is to earn reward and to be protected from certain calamities. It should also be understood that hundreds of thousands of animals are slaughtered around the world to meet people's needs. However, only those who are financially well off benefit from these. During Eid al-Adha, however, many animals are slaughtered for the sake of God's pleasure. The meat and hides of these animals also benefit many poor people. What is an economic matter takes on a religious and moral character. The interest of the community takes precedence over individual interests. For this reason, the sacrifice of an animal represents a great humanitarian and social sacrifice in Islam. 5. The sacrifice of an animal does not significantly increase the number of animals slaughtered, because on the days of sacrifice, the number of animals slaughtered by butchers decreases, and thus the same total number of animals is slaughtered on those days. Those who do not find it excessive that thousands of animals are slaughtered every day for their own pleasure, yet find it objectionable that a certain number of animals are slaughtered once a year for the sake of Allah and for the benefit of the needy under the name of sacrifice is, frankly, a great act of thoughtlessness. Conclusion. The legitimacy of the sacrifice is based on certain wisdom and necessities from the perspectives of religion, morality, and the common good. No one with a sensible mind could fail to appreciate this.